welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Janae Kiara and thank you for clicking on my video. So as you guys can see by the title, today we're going to be doing a story time, and obviously in the story time we're going to be talking about the time that I fought my baby daddy's family. But yeah, we're not going to be saying any names, so I'm not going to be like mentioning anybody directly, but I'm just going to be talking about a story time. So if you guys are interested in hearing that story time, then grab your snacks, grab your popcorn, get you something to drink, and yeah, let's get right into it. You guys, so I got my green tea. I just ate some pizza and some cinnamon rolls. But yeah, I got my book here. I had to write out like basically the whole thing so that I wouldn't like miss anything. I tried to get like as much of it as I could because it's a really long story. Like I have to fill you guys in on like the beginning, the middle, and then like what led up to that. So it's pretty long. I do want to mention that this happened a couple of years ago. This happened like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and a lot has changed since then. Like I'm really not the same, you guys. I'm really a child of God. I'm really like a woman of God now, so I'm not ashamed of my past. Of course I'm not ashamed or embarrassed, but I'm just not like the same person. Also too, like I was kind of debating if I even wanted to put this out, just because I never want to be seen as like the messy girl, like the drama starter girl, because that's not who I am at all. Like you guys will see when I tell you the story, that's really not who I am. Please just bear with me while I try to get this story out. It's pretty long. Yeah, I really just have to like tell you guys from beginning to finish, because there's not really a way that I could just like cut it off in the middle and tell you guys about the fight. It wouldn't make sense. I have to like let you guys know what led up to that. Okay, so, and also you guys, I'm gonna be putting receipts in here too, so yeah. But basically it all started one day when I got a text on my phone from a random phone number that I had no idea who it was, and they texted me and they were like, she was like, "Hi, is this Janae? I'm sorry, this is urgent." I was like, "Who is this?" She was like, "I am looking for Janae since she have a daughter with Johnny, and this is about Johnny. He died last night. You're Janae?" Question mark. And then she sent me like the article of like him being unalived or whatever. So then I was at like my best friend's house at the time. I was at her house, and I went downstairs and I was like, I called her name and I was like, somebody just texted me saying that my baby daddy just died, basically. And she's like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know if they're playing a prank on me." Like, we didn't know if they were playing a prank or what. So then I just passed them my phone because I'm like, let me calm down, because I'm starting to like freak out. Like I'm like pacing around and I'm like getting like kind of crazy. So yeah, we started reading the article and it's true, it was him. And so now I'm like full blown just going crazy. Like I literally ran out of their house, ran out the backyard. Like I ran and I was just doing a lot, okay? It was a lot going on. So the whole time while I'm like running around with my head cut off, I guess they're still texting or whatever, and she's like, I guess I called her. I must have called her because she said, I'm not answering if you are questioning us and you think it's a joke. This isn't funny. But it's like, girl, who thought it was a joke? If I called you, I must have been like, hello? Like, even why are you even playing on my phone? It probably was something like that. Like, you sitting here acting like I'm laughing, like something's funny. But anyways, finally I calmed down. Like, later on that night, maybe like 4 or 5 hours later, I finally calmed down and I was like, yeah, who are you? Like, because you texted my phone about my baby daddy. Who are you? And she was like, oh, I'm his girlfriend of 14 years. So when she said that, like, it's already, I have to process one thing, and now I have to process a whole another thing, and he's not even here to like defend himself. I was just thinking in my head, like, how are you his girlfriend of 14 years when I've been his girlfriend for the last 4 years, and I never even seen you, never even met you, never even heard of you, never even nothing about you. I don't even know what you look like. Basically, she was like, oh, that I could call her if I want to and we could talk about it, I guess. So I did call her, and then back then I had somebody on the other line with me. So basically I put her on three-way, but like I had the other person on mute just in case like she ever tried to lie or anything. You're on three-way with another person, sweetheart. She started telling me how like she been with him for 14 years and blah blah blah, and I was like, oh, okay, so when is the last time that you saw him? She was like, it was after you guys had your baby, and I had came over his apartment and I walked past and I saw your daughter's stuff. And I was like, so you walked past and you saw my daughter's stuff and you still didn't give a f? And she just started crying. She was just like, I'm so sorry, like, I'm so sorry, blah blah blah. And I was just like, okay, like I know what type of person you are now. You could sit there and say sorry. I really don't want to hear it because you did not feel bad in that moment. So whatever. Now that I talked about her, I'm gonna talk about the relationship that I had with his family. So basically, I did not have a relationship with his family. I met them like one time very briefly, and that was in like the beginning of our relationship, and they didn't really know who I was, so I don't really count that. So fast forward to after he passed away, he had a candle lighting, and this is where the girl of the 14 years, she invited me to come. But you guys, she's like, I talked to her that one time on the phone and then just texting, so I still don't know how she looks. Like, I still don't know exactly who she is. Like, if I was to see her in person, I wouldn't know who she is because I still don't know what she looked like. I don't even know her name. So yeah, we go to the candle lighting, and this is where I finally meet his family like the real way, and then they meet my daughter. After they met her, that's when they like told me that they wanted to be a part of her life, and basically I agreed because now that she's not gonna have her dad, I want her to have like something of him. I agreed to like connect more with them, I guess. I don't really know how to say it. Also, like during that time, I was like going back and forth between my best friend house and my family's house. Like, I was technically homeless, but I was living with my best friend, and then I would go to my mom's house. Like, I lived with my best friend for 1 year, and then like it kind of wasn't working out, so then I went back home to my mom's house, and then that wasn't working out. So then this is when I texted his family and I asked if I could stay with them. And this is like, I didn't just ask it, it's just like they always offered it, and they always like well, I'm gonna get to that, but okay, I'm gonna get to that later. But I asked if I could stay with them, and they said yes. And so I went over there because like me and my family just weren't really seeing eye to eye. So when I got there, they told me that I could stay there like for however long that I need to. And like they really put on a show. Like they really tried to make it seem like I was a part of their family. Like they loved me, and like they were gonna do everything that they could to like help me move forward in life. His mom even told me, well, she even put me in like a cosmetology school, but it was just all weird. It was all fake. Like I told her like I really wanted to go to cosmetology school, and she knew that. And so it's like, you're playing games and you know I really want to go to school. And I told her like, how am I gonna go to school and my daughter's only like a couple months old? I don't even know if she was 1 year old yet at that time. And I told her I don't have a babysitter, like she's not in daycare. So she's like, oh, it's okay, we'll watch her, and we'll just take turns watching her, like the mom and the sister, like they'll take turns. And basically that never happened. They never did that. Like they did it for like maybe 2 or 3 times, and then after that they kind of just left me hanging. And so I wasn't able to go to school. And plus the teacher that cosmetology school was fake. Like I don't care what nobody say, that I think that was her friend, because the lady did not even barely speak English. So I'm like going here and I can't even understand what she's saying, and it's like, you know what, I'm done. Nobody's here to watch my kid. Like I don't have a babysitter, she's not in daycare. Like I don't want her to go to daycare when she's that small. So it's like, it was really just like games being played. So I stayed with them for about a total of 5 months. And during those 5 months, like it was really hard for me to live there with them, because they did not treat me like an adult. Like they didn't see me as an adult. And I do want to mention one thing, is that my daughter's dad, he's like 8 years older than me. I think he's like 8 years older than me. I just think because of that age difference, they treated me like a little kid, and they kind of tried to make it seem like I had no idea what I was doing in life. And like basically I'm homeless, like I don't have a job, like I don't have a career, like how can I ever take care of a kid? So they always wanted to like push that narrative. And it's like, first of all, I'm homeless because of your son, who always plays too much. He's the one that got me fired. He's the reason why my whole family is mad at me. He is the reason why. But you guys don't know that because you guys was never in the picture. So let's stop pointing the fingers at me and let's really get the facts here. But it's like, I can't really tell them that. So it's like, as much as I try to explain to them what's going on right now, they just don't want to hear it. And basically all they wanted to do was to get me to sign my daughter over to them. So like when I lived there, this was even before I lived there too, like because before I lived there we would hang out sometimes. They would ask to see my daughter, and they would try to get me to like sign her over to them legally. And they did that twice, and it just made me so mad, because it's like, why would I sign my first child? This is my first child ever in my whole life, and I literally went through so much just to have her here. Like I had complications during my birth, like I had complications during my pregnancy. I had the hardest pregnancy ever. I did that all by myself. I really struggled for 9 months to push her out. I got into it with everybody, my family, my job, like everybody, just to have her. So it's like, I went through so much just to get her here and just to have her. Why would I give her to you guys? And I don't even know you guys. And there's nothing wrong with me. Like, I could see if I was on drugs or something, or like if I was just like out of control and I didn't have like if I was living in a homeless shelter or something like that, then it would make sense for me to sign her over to you guys. But that is not the case. Like, I have my own car and I'm not on the streets. Like, I still have money. It's just that I don't have my own apartment and I don't have a job right now. But it's not really like to the point where I'm living in my car. That was never the case. I was never living in my car. So for them to just constantly ask me to sign my daughter over, that already was a red flag. Because it's like, you guys are basically just trying to take her from me. And if you guys really cared about me, you would never try to take my only child away from me. And I just had her and I didn't do anything wrong. So that was like the first red flag. It was just a bunch of times that I had living there with them when I realized like they were just very weird, very sneaky, very manipulative, and like just not trustworthy at all. Like I said, she tried to have me sit down twice, and it would be the mom and the daughter, and they would like make me come sit down and like write out on a piece of paper and sign it with my signature. And I was like, I'm not signing this. Like, she would try to like pressure me so hard, like, well, you know, you can always come see her if you need to, and she'll be right here. Like, you could go live your life, you can go live out your dreams, and we could take your daughter for you, and just try to make it sound so good. And it's like, lady, I said no. Like, what's not clicking? Do you not understand English? Like, I said no. I would sit there and pretend like I'm writing it, but I would never sign it. And then I remember one time she asked me if she could like see my daughter's social security card, and that was weird. And then she would always ask me like, oh, did he ever sign the birth certificate? Like, did he even come to your daughter's birth? And I was like, yeah, actually he did. He did sign her birth certificate, and he was at the birth, sweetheart. Yeah, it's his kid, so don't ever try to play me. I want to bring up this time because, like, I'm trying to name all of the incidents that led up to that fight. So this is another very big incident that we had that led up to that fight. Okay, so basically, this was actually before I moved with them too. So it was this time where this was like when he freshly passed away. Like, we hadn't even done the funeral or nothing. So when he first passed away, she kept offering me and my friend to come work at her nail shop. And so we said yes, because we thought that we were going to get paid. Like, we thought that we were going to get money, and we thought we were going to learn how to do nails, and we thought we were just going to be like just doing it up, getting our cosmetology license. No, none of that happened. She had us scrubbing people's feet and like sweeping the floor and just doing laundry, and like that's it. That's all we ever did. But anyway, and we didn't get paid. So while all of that was taking place, we were working at the nail shop, and then she would like I would bring my daughter with me. It would be me, my friend, and my daughter, and we'll come from where we came from to come to her nail shop and just do that, whatever we were doing, and then we would go back home. But this time she asked me like, oh, can I take your daughter and can I keep her, that way you don't have to like drive super far with her tonight and then drive super far with her again in the morning to come back. And so I was just like, you know what, fine, because she asked me like so many times. So I'm like, you know what, fine, just go ahead. And you guys, I didn't even know where she lived. I did not even know where this lady lived, okay? I did not even know where she lived. I don't think you guys understand what I'm saying. I let her take my daughter and I did not know where she lived. You guys, I would never do that ever again in my life, ever. So basically she took her, and then I don't know what happened, but oh yeah, I think we did go back to work the next day, and then she asked to take her again. So I said okay, and then we came back again the next day. She asked to take her again. So we're on the 3rd day, and then now we come back, it's the 4th day. She asked again. So I let this lady take my daughter for 4 days. And mind you, I was still breastfeeding at that time, so like your breast milk can dry up so fast. And you guys, I really wanted to breastfeed my daughter for as long as I could, and she was only like 4 months at that time, maybe 5 months, I really don't remember. But on that 4th day, she asked me like, oh, can I take her to the grave to go see my baby daddy? And I said okay, fine. Like, now I'm like, lady, it's been 4 days, okay? My breast milk is drying up and I want my daughter to come back home, and I still don't know where you live. So it's like, she took my daughter to the grave, and now it's like, it's getting dark outside, and mind you, it's raining. So I'm like, okay, let me call her, because it's getting dark outside and it's raining, and it's like been 4 days now. You guys don't need to be at the grave site when it's raining outside, and she's only 4 months old. So now I call her and I'm like, hello, yeah, where are you guys at, because I want my daughter to come back home. And she's like, she starts screaming at me. She's like, hello, such and such and such and such. Like, basically she was screaming, asking me why am I calling her. And my best friend is like sitting right here, and I'm sitting right here, and I'm on the phone with her, and like she's screaming at me, and I'm like, and I look at my friend, because my friend can hear me, and like both of our mouths literally just dropped to the floor, because I'm like, why is she screaming? All I did was call her and ask if I could get my daughter back. Like, it's raining outside, it's cold, and there's no reason why a 4-month-old should be outside at a grave site in the rain. So this lady starts screaming at me. She's losing her mind. She's like, I just lost my son and you sitting here calling me and blah blah blah. And I'm like, I didn't even want to say nothing back, because I did not want to make her mad, even more mad. So basically she just hung up the phone. You guys, this lady hung up in my face. So when she hung up, I was just looking at my friend like, I was about to start crying, because like I thought that in that moment that my daughter just got kidnapped, and it was all my fault, because I'm the one that let her go. Like, I'm the one that kept saying yes. I'm the one that just kept being so nice. So I told my friend, let's go. We're about to drive down there. I'm about to drive to the nail shop. I'm about to drive to wherever I think that they're at, and I don't care. I'm just gonna drive around all night long until I find them. And it was raining, you guys. I was doing like 100 miles per hour in the rain, and I know they was so scared in the back seat. My friend and her mom, they came with me, and they was like, slow down. And I was just like, I would slow down and then I would just speed back up, because it's like, no, they just try to kidnap my daughter. So anyways, we driving around. I can't find them nowhere. The gravesite been closed, so I know they're not there. So I'm like, oh my god. I started messaging all his friends like, do any of you guys know where his mom lived, because she has my daughter and she's not answering the phone and I can't find them, and like she just kidnapped my daughter. And so they're like, no, like we don't know. I don't think she would kidnap your daughter, so you should just probably just chill. I know she's gonna bring your daughter home and blah blah blah. So I'm like, oh my god, I just had to go back home without my daughter. And you guys, I was like, I feel like I turned into a psychomaniac in that moment, and I had to just sit down and just be calm and breathe. And then a couple hours later passed by, and they pull up with my daughter. They pull up at like 12 o'clock in the morning, and I've been sitting outside all night in my car waiting for them to pull up. So now they pulled up, and it's the mom, it's the sister, and it's another girl. It's one of my baby daddy's friends. Well, it's his friend's girlfriend. It's not even really his friend, it's his friend's girlfriend. So anyways, it was those three girls that pulled up, and that girl, I'm gonna name her Emma. So it's the mom, the sister, and Emma. They all three pulled up at 12 a.m. in the morning with my baby. They pulled up, and I told my friend, like, get my daughter because I'm about to fuck her up. Like, I'm sorry if I have to cuss on here, but that's what I felt like. Like, I'm about to beat her fuck up. Like, I'm sorry. You deserve an ass whooping for what you just did. So now my friend tries to go get my daughter, and she's like, no, tell Janae to come get her daughter. And she's like, no, just give me her baby. And she's like, no, tell her to come get her daughter. So I'm like, let me just go outside and get my daughter. So I went and I grabbed my daughter, and I went and I put her in the, like, first I looked at her. First I looked at her face, I looked at her body, I looked at everything to make sure, like, she didn't have no bruises or no scratches or anything. Cause if she would have had that, you're finna die tonight. But she didn't have that. So I put her in the house. She was asleep anyway. So, and then I came back outside, and I asked his mom, like, why did you just do what you just did right now? Why did you just hang up on me? And why did you just scream at me on the phone for no reason? And she was like, she was sitting like this. Like, she was literally sitting just like this. She was sitting in the car just like this. Like that. Like, I was talking to her. I was like, why did you just do what you just did right now? And she was literally just sitting there like this. Like, straight up ignoring me. Like, not saying no words, not even looking at me. So that was making me even more mad, because I'm like, I didn't do nothing to you. Like, you just did something to me, and now you're sitting here acting like I'm the one that's in the wrong. You just screamed at me on the phone. And now the sister's like, oh, just leave her alone, like, she been having a hard time. And I'm like, we all been having a hard time. Like, it's not just her, it's not just you guys, it's me too. I'm the one that has a kid by him. Like, I understand you're his mom, and you're his sister, and you whatever the fuck you are, but we're all going through something. Like, we all deserve a little bit of, like, sympathy for one another. But for some reason, y'all don't never have sympathy for me. So she's still sitting there quiet, and I'm like, I cannot believe you. Like, I did not do nothing wrong, and you really finna sit here and ignore me, and, like, you're not even finna apologize right now. You're not even finna, like, be like, you know what, you're right, my bad, like, I shouldn't have screamed at you. That was totally uncalled for, and that was just totally just not cool after you let me take your daughter for 4 days without even truly knowing me. She couldn't even say that. Now here come Emma, and she's like, well, just, you guys just all go get some rest. Like, let's just let it go, basically. Like, we're just gonna go. And I'm like, I was so mad, you guys. Like, I just felt like in that moment it was not fair, because I did not do anything to them to deserve to get screamed at. I'm the one now, my breast milk is about to be dried up, and now I can't share that bonding time with my child no more because of you. And I was trying to be nice to you, and I shouldn't have. So that was one of the really, really, really important events that led up to the fight. Another incident that happened, well, it wasn't really an incident, but another thing that I found out while getting to know them was, you guys remember how I told you about the girl that texted me that claimed that she was his girlfriend for 14 years? Well, like, when I was living with them, I don't really remember how this came about, but somehow they told me who she was, and they basically told me that she's like their family, and that basically they took her in when she was like in high school. Basically what happened is that her and my baby daddy, they were young and they were skipping school one day, and they was at the house doing God knows what, and I guess his mom came home and she was like, oh, you gotta go, like, I'm taking you back home to your parents. And I guess when she took her back to her parents didn't even want her. So his mom decided to keep her, I guess. That's the story that they told me. And I guess from that, they've been together ever since. And I guess she was just a part of their family ever since. That's just what his mom told me. And I guess, like, the girl just was like really helpful with whatever they needed, whatever he needed, she would buy it or do it. I really don't know. But yeah, I found out that she was just part of their family. So it all started to make sense. Like, everything was slowly coming together. Basically, the girl from 14 years was family with them, and they don't like me, and they want to take my kid. And it's like, you guys don't like me, you want to take my kid, so you could probably give it to this because she don't have no kids. I don't know if she can't have kids, I really don't know, it's none of my business. But that's just what happened. After they had let me know that she was like a part of their family, I let them know that I don't want my daughter around her ever in life. And I'm not joking, like, it's not even a game, I'm not playing. So I let them know that straight up, like, she could be a part of your guys' family, but I never want her around my daughter. And please don't ever send pictures of my daughter to her, like, nothing. And they basically took what I said as a joke. I knew that they took in a joke, because even in that moment, his mom kind of like chuckled, like she didn't really care what I was saying, but she just had to agree because she still wanted to see my daughter. So she's like, oh, she tried to joke it off like I'm just doing too much. Oh my god, like, even me thinking about it right now, it still makes me so mad, because, like, what's funny? If I said I didn't want her around my daughter, what's funny about that? Like, I really want to know what's funny. So anyways, she kind of like chuckled it off and kind of like made it appear that I'm just being dramatic or just doing too much. But really, my reasoning behind that is because, number one, you are an evil girl. Like, I don't care what nobody has to say, you are evil. Because, and I'm gonna insert receipts right here too. But so yeah, the first thing first is that when my baby daddy died, why did you use that as the time to finally reveal yourself, when you could have revealed yourself the whole time that I was with him. But you purposely chose to reveal yourself at that moment, knowing it was not the right time. And you could have revealed yourself years ago, but you purposely chose that time. That wasn't right. And then you even told me that you knew about me and my daughter and you didn't care, and you walked past our stuff and you still chose to sleep with him. And you just started crying, saying like, oh, I'm so sorry and blah blah blah. You're not sorry. You're not sorry. You just want to see my daughter now because he's gone, and my daughter is the closest thing that you could get of him. You're not gonna get that. You're not gonna get that. Sorry. And then she, multiple times, she tried to throw it in my face and say like, oh, we never really knew if that was his kid. Johnny never really knew, and they wanted to get a paternity test and blah blah blah. And it's like, how about you come say this to my face? How about you come right here and come say it to my face? Come say that to my face, because you saying all this on a text message, and that's why I never texted her back, because I felt like she was just trying to get a rise out of me and trying to get me to explain myself to her. I don't have to explain myself to nobody. Me and Johnny know what it is. Who the fuck are you? You're not nobody. You waited until he passed away to expose yourself. You're just a weak ass bitch. Because a real bitch like me, I'm not waiting until nobody passed away. You gonna know who I am today. I really just don't respect people that are really evil like that. All of those things like kind of made me realize where I stand with them. Like, I seen all their red flags. Like, all of that kind of like started making me get the full picture about them. And you guys, I still ended up moving in with them. I still don't know why to this day I did that. Like, it was never that deep. I could have just stayed home. But you live and you learn. So yeah, like I said, I moved in with them, and just a lot of like manipulation, a lot of lies. Like, I remember they lied about having all of my daughter's stuff from his apartment, because I asked like, oh, can I get the stuff from his apartment? And they were like, oh no, all of it got stolen. When I got to their house, it was all there. All of her stuff was there. So I'm like, dang, y'all just straight up lied to me. Like, y'all straight up lied, because I could literally see her stuff right here. So what was the point of lying? Like, it was, I know in particular, it was like the swing, because I had the same exact swing I had at first. My mom bought it for my daughter, and then Johnny went and bought the same exact swing so he could have one at his house too for her. So I wanted that swing, and then they told me it got stolen. But then when I got to their house, it was there at their house. So just whatever. It was just a bunch of lies and just some weird stuff going on. And then while I was living there, I was trying to be cool with them. I was trying to get along with them. I was trying to make it work. I was trying to be cool with his friends. I was trying to get along with his friends. And this is where Emma comes back into the picture. So during this time, like, Emma was trying really hard to be my friend. She was trying really hard to like make herself known. Like, she tried to call herself like the godmom. Or not the godmom, I don't even know you. So she's just trying really hard. Like, she kept offering to babysit my daughter. And like, at that time I didn't have a job, so I would be doing like DoorDash all day long with my daughter in the back seat. And it's like, I would feel bad. Like, I didn't want to take my daughter all day outside like that. She's just a baby, but I needed money too. So that's when she would offer to babysit her, and she would like buy my daughter a lot of stuff. Not a lot of stuff, but she bought her like one pair of little baby Uggs, you know, like the little $40 baby, tiny baby Uggs, those. And then she'll buy her like a little outfit from Carter's or something. And yeah, so I had let her take my daughter like maybe 2 or 3 times, and I don't remember exactly how it happened, but I think one day she was told me that the girlfriend of 14 years, that was her cousin. So she was like, yeah, that's my cousin. And I'm like, oh, now everything's starting to come together. So now she's your cousin. Bitch, you could have told me that before I ever let you take my daughter. Because now how do I know that you wasn't taking my daughter to go see this girl? I don't know. So now that had me highly upset, because now she's your quote-unquote cousin. Okay, so she told me that she's her cousin, and she was like, I don't remember how this came about, but we were texting, and I guess she was like, oh yeah, that either she must have sent the girl a picture of my daughter. So, and you guys keep in mind, like, I literally just had a baby. I literally just gave birth. My daughter's not even 1 year old yet. So I just had a baby, and I just lost a loved one. So my brain, my emotions, like everything is just like very low tolerance. So she told me that she was sending pictures or whatever. I don't remember if she sent the picture. I think she said she did. So she was like, yeah, I sent the picture or whatever. And I'm like, why would you do that? Like, I said I didn't want this girl to have pictures. I didn't want her to see my daughter. I don't want nothing like that. Like, the reason why I didn't want her to have pictures is because some people are very psychotic and very creepy and very weird. And they will do things with a picture. Like, you could do voodoo. You could do all types of witchcraft. You could do anything with a picture. So it's like, I don't even want this girl to have pictures of my daughter. I really do not like her. I do not trust her. And I think that she's evil. So she's like, oh, like, basically, like, I'm doing too much. Like, it's just a picture. She said, it's just a picture. A picture never hurt nobody. And I'm like, how are you gonna tell me what never hurt somebody, or what never hurt me? It's not somebody, it's me. And it's like, you can't tell me how to feel. This is my kid. Like, how about if it was the other way around? Like, I'm already being nice enough to let you take my daughter, and I don't even know you. So it's like, I'm being nice to let you take my daughter. I don't even know you, and you're sending pictures to this girl. And I had already said that I didn't want nobody sending pictures. I already said I did not want nothing to do with this girl. And now you already just telling me on your own, and you're already telling me that you're basically bypassing what I said. You're basically telling me straight up, you don't care that I don't want her to have pictures of my daughter. You're telling me straight up that you don't like, you don't care. Like, you're telling me straight up, a picture never hurt nobody. So it's like, now we're arguing. Now she's all types of bitches. Now I'm all types of hoes. Like, now we're bitches and hoes. What's up? Like, now you just pissed me the fuck off. Now we're finna argue because you don't tell me how I'm supposed to feel. You don't tell me what's not hurting me. You don't know what's hurting me. You don't know nothing about me, first of all. So I finally just told her straight up, like, bitch, you ain't never seen my daughter again. It's a wrap. Like, you could just get that out your brain right now. You will not ever be seeing my daughter again. You just fucked it up for yourself because you're really retarded. Because if you was smart, you would have just been like, oh, you know what, I'm sorry, I won't never do it again. But I'm glad that you didn't do that. I'm glad that you went back and forth with me so you could be erased and X'd out the picture forever. So I have one more event to tell you guys. I'm sorry this is so long, but some people like long story times, but I'm trying to tell you guys all of what happened from the beginning that I met them all the way to the end, because it's really like it just all ties in together. So whatever. So the last thing that happened, this is like the last thing, this is it, this is the last one. So I'm living there, I got into it with that and now she's X'd out the picture. His family was already on thin ice with me because they kept asking me to sign my daughter over. They wasn't watching my daughter so I could go to cosmetology school. They was barely even home. Like, they never helped me do nothing. So it's like everything that they said was fake. And then at the end they kept asking me to sign some document, and it was like some document to like sign over his will basically, because I guess like it goes to his kids since he wasn't married. And they kept on asking me to sign it. And you guys, he also, I'm not his first baby mama. He has another person that he has a child with. So I just felt like, why are you asking, like why do you want his kids not to get whatever it is that he has? Like, why are you asking for them to sign that over? And it did not make sense. And she was like, oh well, he doesn't even have a will. He just doesn't even have a will. It's just for his clothing brand. We just want him to sign. We just want the clothing brand basically. And it's like, but why can't his clothing brand go to his kids? These are his kids. Like, she's like, oh well, the other baby mama already signed it over, so basically it's just you now. And I'm like, well, I'm not signing it because that's not fair. Like, this is supposed to go to his kids. This is like the law. Like, I'm not just making this up for no reason. I'm sorry that it's like I'm trying to give you guys a hard time. I'm not trying to give you guys a hard time, but number one, you're asking me to sign over. The document specifically said sign over the will and the clothing brand. So you're asking me to sign over two things, but you guys keep saying that it's just the clothing brand, it's just the clothes. No. So I said no. I straight up said no, because it didn't make sense. And I said, it just don't make sense. And you guys are just trying to ask me like over text. Why don't you want to ask me in person? And we live together. So it's like, that was the last straw for me. Like, and then after I said no, they asked me like 2 or 3 times. I said no. It got really weird. So like, the mom started doing all weird things. Like, the house would be all dark and like quiet, and like she would turn off all the lights, and yeah, so the house would be quiet, and like she would go to her altar and she would have like the pictures of all her family that passed away and like candles, and she would be sitting at the altar like crying, and like it was dark in the house and she's like doing that. And the daughter wasn't even home. Like, she'll come in, go out, go to school, go be with her boyfriend. So like, me and Genesee was just there, and it was spooky. Like, the vibes are creepy, and she's like crying like all over the house, and I couldn't take it no more. So I finally just went back to my friend's house, and I was like, I don't want to be over there because it's weird. Like, it's creepy, and she's creeping me out. My friend's like, you could stay over here, like you could come back over here. So I stayed at my friend's house for like 1 week, and then I finally went back over there because obviously my clothes is there, like my daughter's clothes, all of our stuff is there, so I have to come back to get our stuff. So I got back, and when I got back, it's still dark, it's still quiet, it's still spooky. This is a one week later, and now the sister comes up to me and she's like, oh, my mom wants to talk to you, or can we talk to you, or do you have a minute to talk to us? And I'm like, okay, like I'm really just coming here to get my stuff, but what's up? So when I go talk to them, it's me, my daughter, the mom, and the sister. And she's like, so where have you been this whole week? And I was like, my friend's house. Why? She was like, oh, you didn't let us know where you was going this whole time, and we was worried about you. And basically she told me that I left the house a mess. And I'm like, I left the house a mess? What are you talking about? Like, I'm not even a dirty ass person, so now you're sitting here lying. She gonna say, well, it wasn't a mess, but you left a dirty diaper. And I'm like, okay, I'm sorry that I left one dirty diaper, but it's like folded up, like it's not even open, it's a folded up dirty diaper, and you could have just picked it up and threw it in the trash. And now she's like, now she got mad. Now she starts screaming. She starts screaming at the top of her lungs at me, and I have my daughter right here in my arms. Like, she's just right here, so I'm holding her. This lady stand up out her chair and starts screaming at me. She's like, you guys, I've started recording her because I'm like, and I still have the video in my phone. I literally have the video in my phone, but I don't want to post it. I might post it, just crop their head off so you guys can't see, but I still have the video in my phone to this day. They start yelling at me, and I'm like, I start yelling back, so now we're yelling at each other. But in that moment, I felt my daughter get scared. Like, she literally like put her head on me like this, like, and she made a little noise, like she got scared for her life, because it was them two yelling at me, both of them yelling at me at the same time. And it's like, it's just me and my daughter here. And even his sister was like trying to chest bump me. Like, she was walking up to me like chest bumping me. And it's like, okay. So I'm like, you know what? How about I just get the fuck out? Now I'm about to get the fuck out. So I told her, like, I'm about to get out. I'm about to get my stuff out, and I'm leaving. And she's like, okay, get out, get out. Da, 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 da. So I'm like, I'm about to go drop my daughter off, and then I'm coming back to get my stuff. So I went to go drop my daughter off at my friend's house, and I told my friend, come on, come with me. I left my daughter with her mom, and then I told her to come help me to get my stuff out. And so she's like, okay. And then so we drive back. This is an hour away. I drove an hour to go drop my daughter off, and we drove an hour back. So we finally get back. When I get back, I go inside, and it's a full-blown party. It's a full-blown party. Like, there's like 20 people there. And I'm like looking at my friend, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, we was just having a whole situation, and now it's a party. I only been gone for 2 hours. So what is really going on right now? So I'm like, you know what? Let me just get my stuff. I didn't even like look around like that or nothing. I'm like, let me just get my stuff. So I started getting my stuff. I'm like getting all my stuff. We basically got all the stuff, but as I'm getting my stuff, I looked over and I see Emma, and Emma was the one that I was like texting back and forth with. We started calling each other bitches and hoes and everything. Her, I see her, and I'm like, oh, so y'all trying to be funny as fuck right now. Y'all trying to be hilarious right now. And so I'm like, okay, let me just keep getting all my stuff. I gotta make sure I get all my stuff. I gotta get all Genesee stuff. I gotta make sure that I don't leave nothing important. So boom. So I told my friend, after I mostly pretty much got everything out, I told my friend like, yeah, basically like, I'm not leaving here until I fight somebody. Like, I'm not leaving here until somebody finna have to square the fuck up. Somebody finna have to see me tonight. Like, I'm not leaving here until. She's like, okay, just keep getting your stuff. So I'm like, okay, I still get my stuff. And then we finish, and then his mom walks up to us now. We finished getting everything. Now his mom walked up. Now she's trying to be cool. Like, she trying to act like she was not just screaming in my face. So she like, oh hey, you left some clothes in the washing machine. I put it in the dryer for you. It's dry now, so you could go get it. It's you and your baby's jackets. And at that time it was winter, like it was cold, so we really needed our jackets. So I walk down to go get our stuff out the dryer, and as I'm walking down to go get the stuff out the dryer, she's recording me with her phone, but I did not know that. So my friend asked her like, why are you recording her? And so then she turns around and starts screaming at my friend. She starts screaming at the top of her lungs. She's like, get the fuck out of my house. You're not supposed to be in my house. Like, you're not welcome here. Get the fuck out of my. She's like losing her mind. And mind you, she has a husband, so her husband walked up too. They both walked up to my friend. And now, so I'm there, and I'm like, hold on, calm down. Like, you really finna have to chill the fuck out. Like, just, I didn't even get to say that. All I said was, hold on, what's going on? And then here comes Emma. She walked up, clapping her hands in my face, and she gonna say, she said, what the fuck is going on? That's what she did in my face. She literally walked up and she gonna say, what the fuck is going on? Like that, clapping her hands. And so right when she did that, I just took off on her. Right when she clapped them hands in my face, I just took off on her, because baby girl, I already don't like you. So why did you think you was finna come over here clapping your musty ass hands in my face? So now me and her start fighting. Now we're fighting. It's like we're full blown fighting, like straight up, no joke, fighting. And then so yeah, we're fighting, and my friend's still right there, and like I'm fighting over here, but I could kind of see what's going on over there. And his sister was like chest bumping my friend. Basically, like, she claimed that she was trying to just break it up. Like, she was trying to keep my friend out and not jump in, and so we could jump Emma. We was never gonna jump Emma. So bitch, you're lying. You was trying to chest bump my friend because you wanted to fight her. Just say that. So now they start fighting. So now I'm fighting Emma, she's fighting my friend, and we're both fighting. Me and Emma, we're fighting so long that we took it outside to the front yard. Mind you, it's raining. It's like 11 o'clock at night. I don't even know, I didn't even have no shoes on. We're outside fighting in the rain, just straight up, square the fuck up, like, let's go. And we're fighting in the front yard. And now they fighting in the hallway. Like, I guess they got my friend all the way down to the back of the hallway, And I don't know, I think that they was trying to jump my friend. I think that more than one person was fighting her, because when I finally got in there, okay, so we fighting outside, like we straight up fighting outside. And the neighbor, one of the neighbors, I guess they heard and they seen what was going on. They ran out and they started breaking it up between me and Emma. So now they broke it up. So now I run in the house to go help my friend. She's all the way down the hallway, and it's like 4 people down there with her, and she's one person. So it's like, you guys are really weak as fuck. Like, you guys are the weakest bitches I have ever met in my life. So I'm walking in and I see that. I see her down there, and then I see the mom right here. And the mom is picking up a big ass glass vase in her house. Like, she's picking it up to pick it up and throw it at my friend. So when I seen her do that, I literally screamed like at the top of my lungs, and I was like, stop! Like, I screamed it so loud that you could hear it like miles away. And right when I did that, everyone just stopped. Like, everyone literally stopped, and it was just still, and it was quiet. And then everybody just got up. His mom put the vase back. I guess somebody had called the police. Police was there. They had like literally just pulled up, and then my friend was walking down the hallway, and we seen the girl from the 14 that claimed she was the girlfriend of 14 years. We seen her right there in the hallway, and my friend literally punched her right in the face. She punched her right in the forehead, and like her head flew back and it hit the wall. Like, it bounced off the wall, and then she had like a big knot right here. But we had seen her, whatever, that happened. And then the police came, and you guys, while I was fighting, I had dropped my car keys, and somebody had stole my car keys and drove off with them. So now we just got finished fighting, and I can't even leave, and the police is here because somebody stole my car keys and drove off with them. And I'm like telling the police, like, they have my car keys and they don't want to give me my car keys. And the police is like, oh, well, they keep saying they don't have it. And basically, I never got my car keys back. I had to get a whole new set of car keys. I had to get a whole new set of car keys, and yeah, so none of us pressed charges. None of us was gonna press charges. They gave us like the option of, do you want to press charges? We first said no, and then my friend, she changed it and she said yeah. And the police was like, oh, well, if you press charges, then they could press charges because that was weird. This thing just turned on and started playing music. And I don't even have like the batteries for the remote to turn it on to do that. So I don't know how that just happened right now. But anyways, so none of us pressed charges, and they ended up what the fuck? Do you guys hear that right now? It's this. I am really creeped out right now. It just keeps stopping and playing and stopping and playing. And you guys, I never had like a remote to do this. And even if I was connecting it with my Bluetooth, I don't even know what song that is that's playing. I'm not even playing no music, so that's weird. That's really weird. I'm gonna unplug it. But yeah, you guys, so that is pretty much the end of the video. You guys, I left one part out about how I found out what the girlfriend of 14 years looked like. That part I found out when I went to his viewing and she was there, and I guess my friend had found it out. She's the one who pointed her out. I don't even know how she found out who the girl was. I think she just overheard like someone saying her name and she was like, oh yeah, that's her. That's how we found out who that girl was. And I'm not even gonna say anything bad about her. I wish her the best. Good luck to all of them in life, you guys. I did make up with his family though, so we're not really on bad terms. And also, I guess technically I didn't even fight his family. I fought one of his friends' girlfriends. So technically I didn't even fight his family. I have a little bit more respect in that for myself, and I just wish them all the best. I hope that everything works out for them. I don't have any regrets. I'm actually glad that everything happened the way that it did, because I was able to see everyone's true colors and see everyone for who they are. And now everybody made their bed, so it's like now you have to lay in it. Sucks for you, but I know that I was genuine. I tried to be a good person. I tried to make it work. I tried to do what I thought that my baby daddy would want me to do, and every time I just got like a slap in the face, like a kick in the stomach, a punch to the ribs. Like everything that I tried, it didn't work. So I tried my best. It didn't work out, and sometimes things don't work out for a reason. And for me, I know exactly what that reason was. It didn't work out with me and his family because it didn't even work out with him and his own family. He didn't even really deal with his own family like that. So yeah, everything pretty much happens for a reason. Like I said, this video is not like a diss to anyone. I wish them all the best in life. Me and his family are cool again. Emma, I don't really too much care for her, or the girlfriend of 14 years. I have no idea where she's at or anything about her. But yeah, that is the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed my story time. If you stayed till the end of this video, leave me a notebook emoji so I know that you stayed all the way to the end. I just want to say to like any of the new moms out there and if you're ever in my situation like that, I just want to say, like, just stand 10 toes down, like how I did. Like, don't ever let nobody try to make you feel less than and make you feel like you have to give your kid away, because you don't. And don't ever let nobody bully you into making you feel like you have to let everybody just take your kid, and you owe us your kid, and you don't owe nobody anything. Just for whoever's watching this, I hope that you remember that you don't owe anybody anything, period. The only person you owe something to is yourself and your kid or your child. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys stay safe. I hope you guys eat your vegetables, eat your fruits. Try to help someone if you can. I love you guys. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.
Hey, it's me.